Hi.
Alright, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Nikki and this is my book nook. Y'all, today we are talking about Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the first book in the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series / world. I have heard so much about this book, so much about these two series, and it's something that I really put off for quite a while now because 10 books is quite the commitment, and I am a chaotic reader and I did not know if I was up for it, but something was just drawing me to it. This book has been on my shelf for a while and I knew that now was the time. I was just in the mood. All the tropes that I knew it contained, I'm just like, I need this right now. And now we're here. I have finished it and I have a whole lot of thoughts. I'm going to, as always in the beginning of this video, just give you a general spoiler-free sort of synopsis and then just kind of give my general thoughts. Again, there's really no need to spoil this book because I'd really like you guys to go read it. I feel like this series in this world is just one that so many people love and so many people should probably be a part of and join as well. So this is just your little teaser. Yeah. Let's just get into it. So this story follows a girl named Lily and a guy named Lo. They are both from very wealthy, sort of well-known families. They're kind of socialites in a way. Lily is a part of the Calloway family and they own basically like Pepsi or Coke. Like they own this massive soda company that is like a household name. And Lo's family, the Hale family, owns basically the equivalent of like Johnson & Johnson. They sell like household products, like baby products, things like that. Basically both families are like gajillionaires. They're very well off and again, very well known, have a lot of connections in the upper echelon of society. They're a whole thing. And Lily and Lo have grown up very close for a very long time. Their families have been very close and they've always been close, but what really brought them together was this realization whenever they were becoming teenagers that both Lily and Lo suffer from separate addictions. Lo is an alcoholic. He's struggled with alcohol since he was very young. And Lily is actually addicted to sex, which is a very interesting thing to read about, to learn about, because it's not what you think it would be. It's really sad and it really consumes her life in a way that the average person can't understand. It's something that truly is an addiction, just like any other addiction is. And we really get to see inside of her head and see the way that it affects her daily life, and it's really, really sad. But Lily and Lo end up basically coming to this realization that they both struggle with these addictions and neither one of them necessarily has the desire to quit said addiction. So they kind of come up with this genius plan that they're going to fake date. If they pretend to be in a fake relationship together, they can basically use each other to hide their addictions from their families. So at the start of this story, we know that Lily and Lo have been in this fake relationship for 3 years, which is actually really interesting because I love the fake dating trope. I love fake dating books, but usually like when you read them and when that trope is in a book, you see like the entire process of it, like the decision, and that's usually a part of the book. Where this book, we already see them and they've been keeping up this fake dating ruse for 3 whole years. Like they're in college now together and they have an apartment together, like a 2-bedroom apartment. People think one of the bedrooms is a guest room, but in reality, like they just live together, but they're not actually together. They have separate rooms and they're just able to basically enable each other. I mean, Lily will drive her and Lo to like a club and he'll drink to his heart's content and she'll get what she needs from somebody somewhere in the club, and then she'll be his designated driver home and she'll bring someone home with her, and they kind of start it all over again the next day. And it's really sad and really kind of toxic what they do for each other, but at the same time, they are people that are suffering so much with, you know, this addiction that they have, and each other are the only people in the world that know that they're going through this. And because they each have their own addiction, they can kind of understand the other person's needs. And it's just, it's a very like complicated story. It's very, just the concept, the things that they go through. It's a really, really tough situation, but Lily and Lo like are 100% freaking soulmates. Like they're one of the biggest and best soulmate connections I feel like I've ever read in a book. Like they were truly meant and made for each other. Like I don't know what the other person would have done without the other person growing up. Like it would have been so hard for them to go through these things. Obviously, again, in some ways they are enabling each other to continue on with these addictions, but it's just hard. But yeah, even though Lo and Lily have been in this fake relationship, like I've said, they're obviously like the closest people to each other in the world, and they spend so much time with each other. So you can't help but have this like buildup of tension that has existed over time. Like Lily, because of her addiction and because of how much she cares about Lo, has named him to be off limits for her in that department, because she just knows how much she cares for him and she doesn't want to ruin things between them. But you know, being in this forced proximity and for so long, and times being desperate, things are bound to eventually happen. And so we kind of see this tension and these challenges between them, and them each fighting their battles separately together. This kind of roller coaster of a journey that they go through. This book was really good. It wasn't like 5-star best book I've ever read, but what I will say is to me personally, no first book in a series ever is the best book in the entire series. However, I think this book, like I could just tell reading it, even though personally on its own, I'm not like, oh my God, this is just like the best book ever, I want to reread this 100 times over. I can tell that it's really setting the stage so well for what will be the rest of this series and the rest of this world. Like it gives you a really good starting place, and it ends in a way with like a total twist and cliffhanger, and it just made you immediately want more. You're introduced to so many characters throughout this book, a big part of that being Lily's sisters, because obviously, like I said, like half of this world is the Calloway sisters series. So Lily has 3 other sisters, so each one of them has their own like book and relationship they go through with another guy, all of which I'm 99% sure we met in this book as well. And I just love that. I love series where it's like companion novels where each book is like focusing on different characters, but then there is like an overarching story and you see them pop back up and come back together and stuff like that. I can tell it's going to get so good. I feel like the beginning of this book was just so interesting, like grasping like what it was about and understanding it and being like, oh my gosh, okay, like I've never even remotely read a book that was similar to this concept-wise. Like the combination of different tropes, it was just so different, so interesting. At times it was really rough and difficult and frustrating to read. I feel like especially kind of in the middle there, I went through a patch where I just was getting really frustrated with the both of them, but I mean, that's kind of the whole point. They have an addiction, they're fighting it, it's not always pretty, and they go through issues and relapses and all sorts of different things. But as I got to the end, it just wrapped up in a way where I was just like, oh my God, my freaking heart. I need more. I need more right away. So definitely going to be continuing this series. I've just heard that it gets like better and better, and it peaks at about book like 5 or 6, and I'm like, how it, like, people rave about it. And I'm just really excited to see where it goes. Even though I haven't read the rest of the books yet, I feel like I could totally understand where the hype from this series comes from, and I'm willing to recommend it. I'm willing to say go for it. This is a really different type of fake dating book, a really different type of like friends to lovers books. I'm really picky when it comes to those, but I feel like this one did it really well. And again, just a book where you want to believe in soulmates, you're dying for that. 100% Lily and Lo, soulmates through and through. But yeah, I feel like this was kind of a rambly little review, but if you guys read Addicted to You, if you've read the entire Calloway Sister Addicted series, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Please don't spoil any future books for me, but tell me, you know, which one's your favorite, which couple's your favorite, any general details you care to share. Let me know your thoughts specifically on this book. I've heard so many people tell me like people on my Instagram that saw me reading it, they're like, if you don't like that one, please keep going. A lot of people don't like it, like, and give up on the series. I don't feel that I didn't like it at all, and if people are telling me that and saying that it's just gonna get better, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. But yeah, I just kind of bonked myself in the head with that a little hard. Anyways, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.